GHRT Rewinds are brought to you by Laughlin and Wolfington Team. Your home sold guaranteed realty. Find out what your home is worth online instantly at LaughlinWolfingtonRealty.com. This is the George Hale, Rick Tyler Show. Oh, thank God it's Emma. Emma Richards, our good friend with Moving Mountains Mental Health. Thank God you're here.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Happy Friday. Zero F's Friday.
What's good about it? Let me ask you that. What's good about it?
We're both sad.
I know. Well, so I was just going to say, one of the things I have two things I want to talk about today. Yep. One of them was that I'm having a lot of conversations with people who are just sad. Like, everyone's coming in and they're like, Emma, I'm depressed. And I'm like, yeah, well, one, we don't have any daylight. Mm-hmm. We have no natural vitamin D, or not a lot of it, because most of us work indoors. And it's really, really cold. And a lot of us really don't like this weather and the bitter cold. So everyone's struggling. It's the post-holiday. It's the new year. Also, everyone's sick.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Everyone is sick. Pneumonia's going around. COVID's going around. All the yucky viruses are going around.
Okay, if I wasn't depressed now, I am after listening to you.
But here's the good thing.
Yep.
So I talk to people a lot. I'm like, well, one, like, just so you know, you're not alone. Like, we're all kind of collectively feeling this right now, which sometimes doesn't help. But when you're depressed, if you feel like you're the only one, right, it's very isolating. So know that you're not alone, one. And two, there are things that you can do about it. I'm always asking my clients, are you taking a vitamin D supplement? If you're not, take one. If you are, double check with your healthcare provider, but I recommend doubling your dose during this time of year. If you already take antidepressants, I always encourage my clients to talk with their doctor about potentially doing a slight increase during the winter months, just to help give your brain a natural boost of those happy chemicals while we're not getting it naturally.
Did you talk to Elizabeth? No, here's why. Because one thing that Santa, using the air quotes, put in Coco and Ian's stocking, vitamin D.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yep. And that's why I think everyone needs it. We don't get enough of it naturally. Everyone in New England has a vitamin D deficiency to some degree. If you have health problems or have a low immune system, you probably have even lower vitamin D. Fun fact. Yeah. So there are things that you can do to naturally get those happy chemicals in your brain. And so we have to focus on that, especially this time of year.
Well, we're all told to get outside, get some light, get some natural light.
It's hard to do.
But when the wind's blowing and
it's -6.
And you're getting everything you own is dropping off your body. Light therapy.
Yes.
I've never tried it, but is it just a bulb or is it a box? Or
Go to Home Depot and stand in the lighting section for about 5 minutes and see how you feel.
Yeah. But they also do make specific light bulbs that they're like happy. I think we talked about that with Andy last month. They do make happy bulbs that have more UV light in them, but you can actually just get a box. One of my clients sent me one the other day. I'm like, you need a happy light. That's what I call them, happy lights. And you sit in front of this box basically, and you do it while you're brushing your teeth, drinking your coffee in the morning, and you just naturally get some of that sunlight. And you might just notice you have more energy, that you feel a little bit better, your mood's better. So just pay attention to how you're feeling and reach out for support. Reach out to your doctor if you need med changes. Know that you're not alone. And just so you know, too, like, spring is coming.
You promise?
Yes, there is some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Kudos to those that are coming to you and openly saying, and two levels of kudos here, openly saying that I'm depressed. One, they're recognizing it. And two, they're bold enough and smart enough to talk about it and look for a solution. Those are two reasons, I think, for someone who is depressed that does that, to give themselves some credit.
Absolutely. And it's really hard to do, because when you're depressed, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything. Everything feels like it's heavy. Everything feels like a chore. But when you do that, just making human connection creates happy chemicals in your brain. So having a hug, being with someone you care about, that releases oxytocin in your brain, and that makes you feel better. So just by making that connection, you're already helping address your depression.
Put a pin in that. We're going to come back to that in a second. George, you started to say something.
Well, there are people who are not depressed, skiers, snowshoers, skaters, people.
Have you seen the lack of snow outside, George?
Yeah.
I know.
The skiers and the snowmobilers
they can
are
drive.
right now.
They can drive. They go to the gym.
Drive
they
where?
stay active.
Or they go way north.
But it's seasonal
Affective disorder.
Sad.
Is that a recognized medical issue?
Yeah, and it's I can diagnose that as well. And it's basically just only people who experience depression during certain seasons. And particularly it's usually winter. And so sometimes people's depression only exists during this time of year, which is when we would consider that to be seasonal affective. But that I just have a lot of people who struggle with depression regularly, and this time of year is just that much harder. So there's, it just depends on the person. It's different for everyone.
There are things that you just said that we can do to give ourselves the happy chemicals that are going to help us get through this time. I wonder if there is a peril, I like using the word peril. I wonder if there is a peril of people finding ways to access the chemicals that they think are working for them but aren't really working for them and could cause them trouble down the road.
You mean like substance abuse?
Substance abuse. I'll just say it. Porn.
Yeah.
Because it's going to stimulate that part of your brain that makes you feel light and happy, the same thing as satiating your need for a beverage or for food. There
Right.
are things that people might stretch to do in order to get themselves out of these seasonal blues that might create a problem that's going to stick with them even when we reach spring and
Yeah.
summer and next fall. And then we're going to be trying to get an appointment with you and you're going to be too busy to see us.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I always ask people too, I'm like, how is this serving you? Is this sustainable? Right? Because chronically abusing alcohol is not sustainable.
Yep.
But, what is it that you're doing and is it actually helping you? And then are you willing to change the things that you're doing that aren't helping you? Because if you're not ready to change it, then it's not going to change.
That's a great point. I could see it right now. And George, you bring up the point. Okay, you have a choice. You can go snowshoeing or you can go sit and drink a six-pack. What are you going to do?
Right.
I'll bet you a lot of people are going to pick the Pabst Blue Ribbon over there. Okay, if it's Pabst Blue Ribbon, they're not going to take the six-pack option, but
Right.
I think that's real.
But sometimes what's the path of least resistance?
Oh, yeah.
You
know what I mean?
In your practice,
I love this girl.
which I practice. I
My practice.
Yeah, you have a practice.
Yeah, private practice is what I call it.
Yeah. Do you try?
Moving mountains. It's written right there in front of you.
Do you try to recommend meditation and deep breathing? I have found I don't get depressed very often, but deep breathing is very beneficial if you've ever tried it. Meditation.
Yeah, mindfulness is also something we call that. Because when you say meditation, a lot of people are like, I am not going to sit and meditate. I'm not doing it.
I'm sitting there thinking, baby.
Instead of om, you say no.
Yeah. or profanities, whichever one. But what I tell people is that you don't have to sit to meditate.
No.
There's walking meditation. I meditate when I hike. The idea of meditation is just this. I've said it before. The opposite of anxiety is being present. When you are meditating or doing some sort of mindfulness practice, you are in the present moment. And what it's trying to get you to do is recognize that here in this present moment, there's literally nothing wrong. Right? And the more that we are present and we are in the moment and are able to stay focused on what's in front of us, the less we get stressed out and worried and depressed about things that are outside of our control that have either not happened yet or have already happened and we can't change them. And so the idea of mindfulness is like whatever you do that helps keep you in the moment, right? Some people have different coping skills. Some people have different things they like to do for fun. Sometimes people play club sports with their friends. Sometimes people knit or go to a book club or whatever. All of those things that you're doing, as long as you are trying to stay focused in the present moment, that is mindfulness. That is meditation. It's whatever actually helps you.
And that's what if you have a smartwatch,
Yep.
you'll get
you
that
can do
little. Yep. I get the ping at exactly 4:15 each morning.
Yep.
Mindfulness. Rick, take a moment and think about your day ahead. Well, it doesn't say that, but well, it's written there, but that's how I hear it in my head.
Right. Take a minute and then you follow I like the one where you follow, you breathe in. Because what you're doing is it's trying to get you to do like diaphragmatic breathing where you go in and then out. And usually I say go in for a count and out for a count. Right? So breathe in longer. It's usually a count of 6 in, breathe out for a count of 4.
I thought it was 5-7.
You can do all
breathe
kinds
in for 5, hold, and then release for. In fact, we did that with a listener not too long ago on our on our radio program live.
There's different ways you can do it too.
God gave you breath, use it.
Yep. And there's different, like there's box breathing. There's all kinds of different.
Box. What's box?
Essentially, it's like you go around in a box. I'm trying to picture it in my head. Yep. It's like in through, out, in, out for a count of 4, and you create a box basically.
Oh, in your mind. I see this now.
Yeah. So there's different ways that you can, and there's different types of breathing because not everything works for everyone, right? Well, one thing that's going to work for me may not work for George, and it might work for Rick, but it may not work for me. You know what I mean? So just finding what works for you too. Also, Rick, I did want to do a shout out before we ran out of time to, it's a completely switched gears, but
new topic, no segue.
I have a new passion project in all my spare time, but I like this one because I think it affects all of us. So a colleague of mine, Wally Frazier, and a group of people had started the Penobscot Region Peer Support Team. And their goal is to try, I just got invited into the group and went to my first meeting last night and met some really cool people. And we're hearing about all these things that we're trying to do to promote the program. One being we're trying to recruit more first responders who are interested in joining the team to help provide peer support to other first responders, law enforcement, EMS, fire, dispatch, and we also include clinicians like me. So we've got 3 or 4 clinicians on the team now. And so we respond and basically check in with different first responders and anybody who reaches out who's like, hey, I just had this like really rough call. But basically we're trying to provide support to the people that are out there protecting and supporting us. And also we include, there's a lot of ex-military, veterans, or, I include all of that as well. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to them because I went to our first meeting, and they are looking for more people, first responders particularly. We don't have enough people from EMS or fire. So if there's people out there listening that are first responders who want to learn more, it's Penobscot Region Peer Support Team. Right now, I think we're trying to fix the name on Facebook. I think it's Penobscot County Peer Support is the Facebook page. And you guys can reach out to me too if you have more questions. I can get people connected with Wally, but it's a really cool thing. A passion project is something that helps give me dopamine this time of year. Ha, there's the segue. Yeah. Got it. Yeah, so it's something that, like, I went to the meeting last night, and it was just, I was there, I was mindful, I was in the moment, and because I was very intrigued by what we were doing. It felt very important. I'm sitting in a room with some cops and some first responders and some clinicians, and we're just talking about wanting to grow this program and provide support for people who, there's just so much stuff going on right now, and our first responders are seeing so much. We just responded. So we're just in Penobscot, but sometimes other counties will reach out. So Wally was telling me last night that Biddeford lost a police officer recently in that accident. We had people from peer support drive down to Biddeford and did 4-hour ride-alongs with cops. So other cops were doing ride-alongs in a different county just to be there for them.
They're having a terrible time in Los Angeles in California with the first responders.
Yeah, I bet.
Who are going house to house.
Yep.
And they've never seen anything like this.
No.
And they are struggling.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, so it's like that. So in our case, I don't know if we would reach all the way to California, but maybe we could.
No,
but a peer support team in that situation would want to I would want to check in and make sure someone from peer support who wasn't involved in those fires. So you want people coming from elsewhere, different parts of the state probably, to come up and be like, hey, we're here.
GHRT Rewinds are brought to you by Laughlin and Wolfington Team. Your home sold guaranteed realty. Find out what your home is worth online instantly at LaughlinWolfingtonRealty.com. Brought to you by Laughlin and Wolfington Team. Your home sold guaranteed realty. Find out what your home is worth online instantly at LaughlinWolfingtonRealty.com.
It's time to come out swinging. Come out swinging for things that tee you off on the Voice of Maine.
Yahoo!
We say Yahoo because Emma Richards of Moving Mountains Mental Health is going to join us here in our segment. So dial 1-800-966-1039. 1-800-966-1039.
What's the batting order?
You go.
Well, George, your name's first on the show, so you go first, as always. And then we'll do that. We'll go George, Emma,
Rick,
and then Chloe. We'll take it.
All right.
No, well, not maybe not Chloe, but Chloe the pop in the studio as well.
She go, woo.
I made a mistake with Chloe. I fed her cookies the last time she was here, so she came in, immediately came over, put her chin right up on my arm and kissed me. Where's my cookie? I didn't have any today.
George, take the call on line 1 there, bub.
Okay. I'd rather talk about cookies. Caller, what tees you off?
Do they make a pill for working with LBJ? Asking for a friend.
1-800-966-1039. That's a team of construction workers, and they are, last we checked with them, they're still working down on the island, MDI.
Yep.
And that's the foreman, and LBJ is one of the workers, and LBJ is apparently, we're just going to say it like it's been said before, a lazy bastard.
Oh.
So
I don't know if I got a pill for that.
No. Line 2 is ringing right now. Emma, it's your turn.
Good morning, caller. What tees you off today?
The lineup. I was just curious, Rick, what would it take for a caller like myself to be able to try to get, I don't care if Howie Carr's recorded 7 or not.
Okay.
I kind of don't like Mark Levin, and, I don't like getting yelled at over the radio by him and whatever, so.
Well, tell you what, you just expressed it to us, so management does, for some reason, listen to us. Only to catch us when we do something wrong. So your voice has been heard. 1-800-966-1039. Caller, hi, you're on 101.3 Augusta, 103.9 Bangor, and people are listening to as we stream at WVOM, What tees you off?
LBJ here. What tees me off is this freaking weather. People are like, oh, it'll be nice out tomorrow. And by nice, they mean like 10 degrees with a slight breeze. Sunny skies at least, maybe. And I just, I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, well, what's so bad about global warming then? It'll get nicer out.
We all know that global warming is real and dangerous.
1-800-966-1039. All right, George, batting order. You're up next.
Caller, you're up. What tees you off?
What tees me off is that Biden administration is trying to take credit for the improved economy and the lower gas prices when they, at the beginning of his term, had shut down most of the oil companies from new drilling. They took them to court. It took over 2 years before the oil companies won the lawsuit, so Biden couldn't stop them from drilling.
Okay, we're going to have, a GoFundMe page to get that guy a better cell phone if he wants to call in. Audio matters, people. 1-800-966-1039. That's why Emma's microphone is up nice and loud so she can take the call on line 1 right now.
Good morning, caller. What tees you off?
All that and no. Okay, do-over. Mulligan, take line
right.
2.
Hello, caller. What tees you off?
What tees me off is the weather's way too cold. George Hale needs to turn it up.
Turn it up, baby. Cranka.
Turn it up, George.
Crank it then, Mr. Hale. Jeebas.
I'm not too far down the road from turning it up.
Oh, blah, blah. I
You're going to Florida
for a month and 8 months out of the year. He's
Yeah, Mr. Vacation Man. All right.
Really? Where did I go last year, George?
You've gone to
Thank you. 1-800-966-1039. Where's that button?
Dumbass.
There it is. Caller, hi. What tees you off?
Look, I know it's wrong for young men to have their pants taken down and thrown pickles at. So why is it okay for George to sit at Heroes, have the wait staff take their tops off, and throw onion rings? Because the onion rings just bounce off the men and they go on the floor and they're wasted.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I love the visual, but
what the hell is wrong with
Take your pants off and throw pickles.
Well, first he's making reference to what was the bullying incident, according to investigators, that shut down Main Era.
With the pickle.
Well, I'm looking at Emma because she might not know George. We're talking to Emma as well. But according to investigators, at least 2 seniors pinned down a freshman, tried to strip that freshman of their pants, and then threw pickles at them.
Weird.
Oh, Lord.
George, it's your turn to take the call.
I live in a different world.
Line 2, Mr. Hale.
Caller, you're up. What tees you off?
I wonder if anybody has made the connection. A lot of the problems that's going to be had in California soon is the fact they don't have insurance. And the reason they don't have insurance is because of price setting, and that was what Kamala Harris was going to do across the board if she had got elected.
1-800-966-1039. It's a supersized edition. Thanks to our friends at Renewal by Anderson. The better way to a better window is Renewal by Anderson. RBAGreaterMaine.com.
It's time to come out swinging. Come out swinging for things that tee you off on the Voice of Maine.
And whose turn is it to take
Mine.
a call? Okay.
Hello, caller. What tees you off?
Caller, hey, Emma Stahl. Oh, hang up on them. That's a seasonal affective disorder. No, that's a do-over for you, Emma, on line one now.
All right, let's try this again. Good morning, caller. What tees you off?
Good morning, guys. I just wanted to wish George a belated happy birthday. I'm trying to get him. You guys have been super busy. But I believe you're 93 years old. I don't know what that secret sauce is, George, but I wish you would share it with us. Take care, guys.
That's awesome.
Paul McCarrier has that bottled for you if you need it. That secret sauce. By the way, you want to talk about getting enough light to cure your seasonal affective disorder? Let's go stand next to George's birthday cake.
Oh, was there? Oh, yeah.
93 candles. Right.
It took me a second.
I asked the little ones. They were guessing how old I was at the birthday party, and they managed to get to 35. That was.
Oh no!
That was
You're like, yeah, we'll just stop there.
That was the
That's
biggest
fine.
number that the little ones could get to. He must be 35.
It wasn't like the price is
35
right.
is good.
And by the way, to them, 35 is old.
That's the correct number.
Oh, well, they agree with old.
Kids call me old all the time. I'm like, listen.
And then you punch them right in the snoot.
Caller, you're on. What tees you off?
Yes, good morning. Long time no hear from. This is Joe Sixpack calling from a long time ago.
Joe Sixpack, Mike, where have you been? We put your face on a milk carton because we wondered where you've been.
I've been long haul trucking. Hey, the guy called about dissing on Mark Levin. Don't diss on Mark Levin. Get off my phone, you dumbass.
1-800-966-1039. Emma, I think it's your turn again because George took my turn, so it's coming back to you again.
Good morning, caller. What tees you off?
Nothing. I'm happy. The whole house generator that I ordered in August was installed yesterday. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Good for you, princess. And she's princess. No, because when she calls on a princess phone.
Oh.
And that's why it makes that clickety-clickety-click sound when she hangs up.
That's cool.
So we knew that. So, caller, hello. The George is my turn
Yeah,
now.
it's your turn now.
I'm not going to trust him.
You can
now.
have a turn. You can have a turn.
I'll ask Chloe sooner than him whose turn it is. Caller, hi. What tees you off?
Hey, Rick, it's me again, Otis, and I just wanted to ask, I have a request for Emma Richards, and that is, could you please speak in your wonderful British accent?
Oh, you want my British accent? You know, this is like the greatest day of my life that someone wants me to do my British accent.
Wow.
You know?
Do you ever watch BritBox or Acorn?
No.
Those all the British shows that you can get on the cable?
Bridgerton.
Oh, wow.
And Love Island UK. Because they fancy each other on there and they talk like this the whole time and it's lovely. So, yes, I love this for me.
Why do you drink your beer warm?
What?
Bridgerton, you know, I thought as a guy I'd have no interest in it. And then the guys, I got to be honest. Okay, this is like secret locker room talk. Yeah, the wife was watching Bridgerton and I'm like, I have no interest. But then I started actually watching and watch what happens.
And you're like, oh.
And guys... Yeah.
It's a great show.
You'd be interested.
I highly recommend it.
Cleavage. Sorry, that was a sneeze there. Go ahead, George, line one.
All right, sir. Caller, you're next. What tees you off?
Oh, yeah. I see videos and pictures of L.A. and it looks like Gaza or Maui. And that's what a coincidence. Those three places are key places that they're trying to build these 15-minute cities. But to do that, they have to clear out what's there, you know, at present. So is this what's going on?
I don't know. Is that what's going on?
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. I hope not.
Okay, Ground Zero is on at midnight tonight, okay? And they might be talking about it. We can research that then.
Good music, though.
Okay. Whose turn is it now? Just take it, Emma. You're the one taking
all
this.
right.
You're
Good
the
morning,
one taking
caller.
By the way, what are you slugging back there? Is that your
sugar-free Red Bull?
Sugar-free Red Bull. Yep.
Yeah, it's my lifeblood.
Yep.
All right. Good morning, caller. What tees you off?
Okay, I got a better mic this time. The Biden administration taking credit for the improvement in the economy when they shut down drilling at the beginning of his administration, and it took the oil companies 2+ years of lawsuits to finally tell the courts to tell Biden he couldn't stop him from drilling. And
that's a fact.
1-800-966-1039. Now we know what he meant to say. Caller, hi. We're going to get him under the wire here. Caller, hello. It's the George Hale, Rick Tyler Show with Emma Richards of Moving Mountains Mental Health, our guest in our studio. What tees you off?
I got to be a wise guy. Who suffers more depression, liberals or conservatives?
I think we're all the same, man.
We should be like goldfish, like Ted Lasso says.
I love Ted Lasso.
Short memory span. George, your turn for line 2.
Caller, finish strong. What tees you off?
Good morning, George Hale, Rick Tyler, and good morning, Mrs. Richards. And
got that right.
And best wishes on your recent nuptials. And I knew your name today, even though Rick may not have.
Sorry.
So nice.
Chicky would call you Frau Richards. I'm recently married as well. She's from Germany. But at any rate, George, you are 35. You're only as young as the woman you're feeling. And we take, Chicky and I are both big fans of deep breathing. That stuff really works. We do about 10 minutes of deep breathing.
Stop it.
Every time.
Stop it now.
Every time we do the dishes. You have a great day, boys.
That was a great end.
Yep, we understand the reference, too. Emma Richards with Moving Mountains Mental Health.
Hey, we got it right.
Where do we find you on Facebook?
Moving Mountains Holistic Wellness on Facebook, which will guide you to my website and to me. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great Friday.
GHRT Rewinds are brought to you by Laughlin and Wolfington Team. Your home sold guaranteed realty. Find out what your home is worth online instantly at laughlinwolfingtonrealty.com.